Hello, I thought I'd add something a little new to my channel, a little series called Talking Plants, where I can just have a little chat about any new plants that I've got in, thinking about getting, maybe any propagations or general chit chat about some of these plants. So let's get on with it. Right, so let's start off talking about these brassiopsis. So this one is Brassiopsis fatsoides and is one of the hardiest brassiopsis. Now, I bought this last year, absolutely love it. It's been in my greenhouse over winter. It's probably going to be planted out, but went in there the other day, caught a massive snail on it, and the slugs and snails have been proper ripping it to bits, which is quite annoying considering anyone that grows this or wants to grow it is growing it for the really unusual leaf shape. And the other thing is they are quite delicate leaves, so they do get battered around quite a bit by the wind. So when I plant this, it's got to be planted somewhere very free draining, because they sort of like that. They don't want to be sat in wet conditions. Give it a bit of shade, and I'm going to have to make sure it's very sheltered from the wind. Otherwise, it's just going to get hammered every time I put it out. So down the bottom end of the garden, I have a Brassiopsis mitis, which was left out all year and is just coming back into growth now. Lost pretty much most of its leaves. We had about -3 Celsius, a little bit lower maybe. Absolutely fine with no protection whatsoever, even though I would protect it if it got really cold, to make sure that I don't sort of lose it right back down to the ground. But I think these plants are absolutely amazing, but very, very delicate. They're quite hard to get hold of and quite expensive at the moment, but really, really glad to have it in my collection. So next to that, which I think is a nicer looking, more solid looking leaf, this is Brassiopsis bodinieri. Now this one isn't hardy, or at least I don't believe anyone that's tried testing it has. So this is going to go in a pot in free draining mix. It will come out all summer in a shady area, hopefully looking absolutely amazing, and it will go back into a frost-free greenhouse every winter. But really looking forward to watching this grow. And do you know what, when you look at how spiky the stems are on both of these, it annoys me that somehow the slugs and snails still seem to find their way up unbothered to have a good old munch. Right, next I'm going to go on to a different plant that I've brought, and this is going to be a tree, and it also has a very spiky stem, and this is a Calipanax, and if I say it right, it is septemiobus. That's right, Calipanax septemiobus. Now I see this at Abbotsbury Subtropical Garden when I visited last year. I've put a video up that on my channel if you want to watch. What an absolutely stunning tree. Now this is deciduous and is hardy, I believe. I have nowhere to plant it in my garden, but that doesn't mean that I don't want it. So it is going to get potted up. I am going to grow it bigger, and if I ever decide to plant in the lawn and get rid of some of the lawn, hopefully I've already got this plant at a good size to maybe do that with, because really, really love the leaf shape, and the trunk on it is just, it just stands out so well. Absolutely amazing as the spiky trunk gets bigger and more mature. Craig from Grow Paradise recently talked about this plant. on one of his Abbotsbury videos. Well worth a watch. Stunning plant, and I'm really glad I've added it to my collection. So below here, I didn't buy this, but I thought I'd get it out for a little show as we're having a chit chat. This is one of my seed grown Fatsia polycarpa, the Edward Needham variety. I have probably about 50 on the go. This is one of the slightly bigger ones in my greenhouse, and they've been very slow. I think it's took me about 2 years to get it to this size. So the green finger ones, which are pretty much the same plant, have gone through tissue culture, so are mass produced. Now I kind of hope that if you keep growing these by seeds, you might get some natural variation, and you might get some slightly deeper lobed leaves or something like that. At the moment I can't see any variation on the leaves, but I have a few more berries on my plant at the minute if the birds don't eat them. So when they ripen, I'm going to give it a go and keep trying to grow these plants, because you know, you just kind of hope that one day one might come out a little bit different, even though I know realistically that's probably not going to happen. We can wish, can't we? So let's move across. So here is a basic Acuba rosanai, which is a hardy evergreen shrub, and as you can see, this has red berries, which makes it a female. Now if you take these red berries off, and basically all I've ever done is take them off, push them into some compost about an inch or so down, and then just leave the pot somewhere in the back of the border a bit damp, and then eventually after quite a long time they will send out seedlings. Now here's some from berries that went in last year, and I can obviously see that there's a cross here, or I'm assuming that's the case, because some of these have come out pure green and some have come out with variegation. Now I have probably 5-6 different varieties of Acuba in the garden, so I like to take these berries off. I hope that there's got a cross. I don't naturally try to hybridize anything, but I grow them and sort of hope that one will come out a bit different. I have got one that looks a bit different to the others, which is a more mature plant. I haven't got here at the moment, so I can't show you. Waiting to see what that looks like. But yeah, just a bit of fun, trying and hoping that one day something a bit different, a bit nicer might come out. If not, I'll have loads of extra spare plants. Okay, something else that I thought I'd mention, and this is just a phormium. People are probably thinking it's nothing special, and it probably isn't, but I see this in a nursery the other day, and this one is phormium duet, and I know this camera footage isn't going to do it any just, but it's got really dark green leaves with a lovely lime streak to either side of it. And I basically walked through a polytunnel full of absolutely hundreds of phormiums of all different varieties, and the one that caught my eye by far the most was this one. It just in real life had a much more zingy appearance to it. So that's phormium duet. I thought I'd give it a mention because I really liked it basically, and yeah, hopefully somewhere, I'm not sure where, I might be able to find a spot for it. Right, gonna leave it at that. Just a little chat. If this is something you'd rather you'd like me to carry on doing in my channel, having a little chat about new plants that have come in, plants I'm propagating and other stuff like that, and a little plant talk, let me know in the comments, and might be something I can add to it. 1st of April today, spring's well on its way, sun's out, things are looking good. Thank you very much, see you next time.